Good day, and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob, and I'm happy for you to join me. Thank you. Yesterday, we wrapped up our introduction to mind-body tools for deeper healing in phase 2, what we've been calling it, or advanced addiction recovery. Excuse me. We were just introducing it. We're going to continue to go deeper into it, but we've got a good start here. It might help just to remind you that we think of phase 1 early recovery as being an essential foundation to what follows after it. Phase 1 early recovery really keys in on sobriety, getting sober. Phase 2 advanced recovery, on the other hand, aims at long-term protection of that sobriety. It's what's sometimes referred to as relapse prevention. So our focus in this first unit on phase 2, relapse prevention, aims at relaxing our minds and our bodies in such a way that we can protect ourselves from relapse. We talked about moving from one brain mode, the red alert brain mode, which puts us into a state of craving and puts us very much at risk for relapse. Finding skillful ways, whether it's physical ways or cognitive ways, of moving from that red alert brain into resting brain, which is far more resilient. And we used an analogy of the beakers, where we're moving from the small beaker that quickly tops out to a much larger beaker or pitcher that has some space and some room to breathe. When we're working on relaxing the body, what we've been doing is applying some mindfulness exercises to what we called mind-body mapping. Our goal here is to bring a new layer of awareness. It's a fine-tuned awareness to what moves us from stress to distress. Remember that we want to break that linkage between a stressor in our environment, whether it's the inner environment or the outer environment, and then moving into that red alert mode, which is the region of distress. And we did this by interjecting a helpful exercise, a way of shifting our relationship to that initial stressor. What we did is we trained a way here that we can relax into stress rather than moving into what comes so automatically for most of us, which is moving right into that kind of knee-jerk reflex of the red alert mode. So we're trying to find a way to break that pattern, break that reflex. And we've done that by introducing mindfulness of the breath exercises to help relax our body, even as we're contemplating something that's stressful. If you've joined us, what you'll realize is that we're coming to an awareness that it's not always those stressful circumstances we face which cause us our greatest distress. It's not always the stressful circumstances. Rather, it is often our way of dealing with stress that is the pivot point between resilience or resting brain on the one hand, or going down the rabbit hole of distress into red alert brain on the other hand. Now, what I'd like to do next is to have you join me as we begin to look at the mind part of what we're talking about here, which are mind-body resources, mind-body tools that we might implement in not only reducing our distress, but also in protecting our sobriety, preventing addictive relapse. So I want to thank you. I'm glad you're joining me for this next unit of study. And we'll be practically applying skills to begin to develop not only the physical aspects of relaxation, but also the cognitive aspects of our being able to be more resilient. So what I want you to do today is I invite you to personally reflect on, just think of one way in which you see your own mind, sometimes at least, contributing to your moving from, let's say, an ordinary day-to-day stressor into more incapacitating distress. For example, excessive worry or regret, or even something worse. So we want you to look at, how does your mind, in a sense, play tricks on you and move you from stress, which is undeniable, into distress, which is not inevitable. I want you to see what comes up for you as you analyze how your own thought patterns can sometimes operate like pouring gasoline on the fire, amping up normal stressors into serious distress. Let's see what you find. In the meantime, I want to thank you for spending part of your day with me here at the Vitality Project. It's much appreciated. I hope that you'll engage in this exercise. And between now and when I see you next, please stay safe, be well. Come back and join me soon. I look forward to our continuing our journey together.